You're listening to the Academy Podcast, presenting an innovative curriculum for personal growth. Sit in on exclusive conversations with influential people as they share the secrets that made them the front runners in their industries. Now here are your hosts, Austin and Kagia.
Hey, I got a quick question for you, Doc. Did Joe, you already a pastor when you got married?
Yeah.
You was?
Yeah.
Okay, so when y'all started dating, was you a student or a pastor? Was y'all dating like in
I was a student
college?
at Oakwood. Yeah.
Okay. So she always knew what she was getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, my wife.
I guess we when we started dating, we wasn't like we're gonna be married tomorrow, but I mean, she knew that the lifestyle would become that way eventually.
Right. Yeah. No, my wife was like, no, dude, no. No, I didn't marry no pastor. Like I had to, like in the Holy Ghost, I didn't even get a job until she was okay with it. Like, not that I didn't want a job. I'm just saying I didn't get an offer until she came to me one day and was like, you know what, if it happened, it happened. Like that next week I got a letter.
Business owner before? You were like a
right.
You owned
we were straight
businesses, right?
Right. Yeah, we were good. She was like, that's cool.
What did you graduate in? For
biology.
The people that don't know. Right.
Yeah, I got a master's in biology. I ain't do nothing with that either though.
You have a master's in biology?
Yeah.
You were about to be a doctor?
Yeah, well, I didn't go to med school. Instead, I got my master's in biology.
You decided
I was just doing that.
A route with no money.
No, look, I only did that to come to Huntsville to find a wife. And I went and got that master's because it was free. You know, it's biology.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got the grades. Yeah. So I can do that. They paid my full ride, paid me $1,000 a month while I was looking for my wife.
This is Oakwood?
No, not at Oakwood. No, this was UAH in Huntsville.
Oh, I was getting ready to say they're giving out money.
I just needed to be in Huntsville because that's where all the Adventist women were.
Right.
And I got one in less than a year. I digress. She married me, dude, and I was not a pastor. And then I became a pastor, and she was like, nah, I ain't signed up for this.
That's funny. But she loves it now.
Yeah. Loves what?
Love it now?
Loves what?
She don't love it now?
She loved me.
Okay, that's enough.
I'm saying she don't love the fact that I'm a pastor. Nah, it was cool.
Does she like being a pastor's wife?
No.
Really?
Why?
There's nothing she likes about it.
No, I think she like looking at me when I'm all dressed up and I'll be up there preaching. Okay. I think she'd be like, that's my man right there. She
likes it for selfish reasons, definitely.
She like that, but only when I'm preaching good.
Yeah. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? True. Hey, when I preach good, and I never know whether it's good or not till I get in the car. But if I preach good, then she be all in. Oh yeah, I know it.
That's true. If when you turn the car on, and if you have to ask first, the word wasn't good though. I was like, what'd you think of that run there? She's like, I
don't ask no more. It's just quiet.
No,
it's just quiet in the car.
One. That's the worst one. That is the worst one. That's funny.
Yo, so look, man. We brought some brothers in here, man. I'm excited to talk to them. Two brothers. I don't know what they're gonna say, but I know what I'm gonna ask them. So first we got my classmate, CO90, Pine Forge Academy, Shawn Payne. Then we got my prayer line brother, Keith Johnston. Come on, boy.
Yes, sir.
What's up? Looking like look. I just want to talk about this background right here, because this dude looked like he's like at a movie premiere, right? Like he even got the pencil on his ear. And
look. Let me undo some of this. Look. Y'all caught me at the end of my school day, man. Y'all caught me at the end of my school. This is my school backdrop, my virtual classroom in one of the rooms of the house.
That's good, man. That's good.
Well, look, hey, take us to school. We here to learn, man. We here to learn. That's why we here.
Look,
take us to school, Keith.
I ain't got nothing to teach, but as I walk through life, man. Come on now. Listen.
What was that? What was that, man? Who you quoting, man?
I'm just walking through life, man. I'll share
it.
As I go.
That's funny.
All right. So what both of these gentlemen right here have in common is that they are married to pastors.
Yes, sir.
And I'm eager to just ask them a bunch of questions, because there's a lot of curiosity in here. I know my man got some questions too. Are y'all game for this? I mean, y'all ready for this?
Hey, man, bring it on, man. This is a daily thing for me. Bring it on.
All right. You say it's a daily thing? All right.
Constant.
If I cross the line, just move the line.
Oh man, it's gonna
All
be
right.
interesting
So
today.
Well, I won't know if I cross the line until after my wife hears it.
Right,
So,
right.
you know, who knows?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
that's all right, man. That's all right. So who you married to, Keith?
Married to Lola Moore Johnston.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed, LMJ.
That's it.
LMJ.
LMJ. Hey, listen, let me
All
just
right.
say that he's not only married to a preacher, he's married to a psalmist. He's married to a preacher of righteousness. He's married to a woman of high fashion. Both of them are high fashion, man. So I'm just honored that we
Come on, you're crossing the line.
Man.
You're crossing the line.
I'm sorry, man. Every time they come on the screen together, I'm like, man, they just look good together, man. It's just man. And not only that, my boy Shawn. Shawn, who are you married to, man?
I'm married to Trisha Wynn Payne.
Mighty preacher, author of man. Tell us the name of the book one more time, brother. I know we talked about it earlier, me and G, but tell us about the book, man. What's the name of that book, man?
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull one up for you.
Yeah,
it's called Triumph Through Tragedy.
Yeah.
So I've got one around here somewhere. I was reading it, but anyway, it's.
I got my digital copy. I can't pull it up, but I can pull it up.
Yeah.
yeah. Sure enough, man. It's well written, man. Good book.
It's very well written. Very well written. It's a story of her triumph through an extremely tragic situation that almost took her life, and I mean, man, it just turned our world upside down for quite a while, and we're still feeling the effects of it. But I mean, God is good, man. I mean, everything is. That's all you can say. God is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
She was so close to the edge that I mean, man,
I feel you. I feel you.
Just seeing her now, some days it just makes me wonder, man, how close were we? I mean, it was bad. It was bad.
So now you got this book. It's his testimony, and really, this is my first question to the both of you guys. Not only is your wife Shawn, she's an author, she's a multi-talented pastor, preacher, speaker, motivational connoisseur. Keith, for you all don't just, you're not just first men of a church. You all pastor some pretty prominent women in ministry. You all are on the sides of those women. What is that like for you guys? What is it like to not just to have two women that really are in the limelight, especially in this COVID age? We see them on every flyer. We see them on everything. What is it like, being the spouse to some great women of ministry?
Keith, you want to grab that first?
Man, to give a sports analogy, it's almost like I'm gonna be balanced here. It's almost like being a teammate of Jordan, a teammate of LeBron, for those who favor either one. But just to be in the throes, on the ins and outs, just every day with these women, with my wife, with Lola, is an experience. I mean, yes, she's a pastor. Yes, she sings and this, that, and the other. But I tell you, man, at the end of the day, she's my wife. I'm her husband. And, to see her out and about and do her thing among the people, the congregation and whatnot, again, at the end of the day, she wants to be a wife. Let her be a woman at home and support and help her recoup in that capacity, just to do it all over again when she's called upon,
So I agree with you. I mean, because I'm the guy sometimes with the assist. I'm coming in and I might be carrying books and Bibles for her and doing her thing. I mean, she's solid. She's really solid. When we, first started, dating, just watching her work was amazing. And
hold on right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Because you just said y'all was dating. You can't be dating no pastor, man. How you was watching her and she was a pastor?
Yeah, man. So you got to peep this. So
yes, sir.
Let me peep it.
Talk about it, Shawn.
So we were good friends for years. I actually met her before she was a pastor, and we were good friends. And kind of years later, after she became a pastor, and she actually left the area. she moved to Indianapolis, and I was still living in Chicago at the time. So, we started, hanging out a little bit and dating and talking, and that phone call every now and again.
Hold it right there. Hold it right there. Yeah. So you was watching the pastor, and then y'all start hanging out?
Yeah.
Like y'all were like going out, y'all were like holding hands maybe and making googly eyes or what?
So understand this. We were in two different areas. Two different cities. And it's kind of funny because nobody knew we were dating. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew we were dating. Now, her congregation, they held a grudge for a long time, I think, because they didn't know. What happened was, one day she announced, I'm engaged and I'm getting married next week. And that was it.
The following week.
She did not, they didn't know, and we weren't telling them because it wasn't their business.
Thank you. I was hoping you were going to say that. Your business.
I was not dating her congregation. And I wasn't even dating a pastor. I was dating a woman.
Come on. Yeah.
And, a lot of people don't realize that. And the two of you, I know, as pastors, I know you understand that people sometimes don't see you as a person. They see you as the pastor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes with my wife, when that happens, it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Because, I got to let them know, hey, look, my man, watch your tone. It's your pastor, but she's my wife. Watch your tone. Right. And, one of the hardest things about being the pastor's husband, if you will, that I've had is knowing where the line is.
Yeah.
Right.
I am by nature, I'm the protector. I'm the man. And there are times when someone steps, across that line. You cross that line, you got to deal with the husband.
Right.
And it hasn't been often, but she's been pastoring for quite some time, and we've been married for quite some time. So it's happened.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, but it's
Keith, I'm about to ask Keith something. But before I ask him that, I just want to know, is it cool with her when you step in like dun 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 dun? I'm here. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Is it cool with her? She like, Shawn, I got this. I'm cool.
Sometimes it just, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a question we need to ask. But sometimes, it's a reflex. It's a reflex. If you see something coming, you're gonna jump in front of it.
Yeah, keep jumping on that, Keith. Yeah. Follow up with that, Keith.
Yeah, so my experience has been was a little different in that she was an established pastor before I came on the scene. So there are a lot of things that have been in place as far as her ability to handle certain situations and whatnot that she has been well equipped to deal with. Now, when I came on the scene, I guess you could say I'm a ready reinforcement if necessary. There's no doubt that people have respected her as a pastor, administrator, and leader. So my position has been, as Shawn said, as sort of, protector, husband of the woman, you know what I mean? For the woman that she is. And we haven't encountered any situations where she has been outright disrespected as a woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
all right. So Keith, I know you thought you skipped over this question because we kind of went somewhere else, but
you're talking about the whole date.
So you said you said she was already established. You came up in there and you was giving the googly eyes, dude, right at church. Like you cared about what she had on at church. Like, what's going on, dude?
We weren't. So I wasn't so much googly eyes, but she was being respectfully observed. If you
that's good.
Respectfully noticed, if you will.
My man.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Come on.
My man.
You respectfully observed.
So yeah, we're gonna keep it right. We're gonna keep it right. So, but what I'm saying is that, I noticed her as a woman. I mean, let's be real. I noticed her as a woman first, and I respected what she did. You know what I mean?
Right.
If she was CEO or if she was an attorney or what have you, she's a woman first, and I respected what she did and what she does. And one of the first things I expressed when we started dating, or making my intentions known, was that I wanted to get to know the woman outside of the pulpit. I mean, I already admired her, for her delivery of the word, how she's, of course, her singing and this, that, and the other. But, that was a draw, a respectful draw. Don't get me wrong. She's attractive, but I know I needed to walk respectfully, because look, she's a woman of God, but I know it's a woman first.
So how did you cross the line? Like, did y'all slip into it, or did you just like jump in like, hey, I want to know you as a woman? Like, or did y'all get cooler and cooler? Then it was
let me give you a very, very short version. We had some mutual friends that kind of set things up, expressed that there was, mutual interest, or they thought I might be good for, or she might be good for. They more or less set it up, and indirectly to directly became sort of like our accountability friends of accountability, if you will, because if we were going to do this, it needed to be done right, walk right, talk right, keep it right, and shout out to Pierre Hunt, shout out to Jennifer Fordham, because they were very instrumental in us coming together. And all that to say, it's very important to have some very trustworthy friends who will keep you and hold you accountable.
Yeah. So Keith,
and I've heard Jenny's side of that story, Keith. I've heard Jenny's side of that story.
Okay.
Yo,
yeah.
Keith, I want you to follow up with something that's important, and I think that the reason why G has asked you both about the googly eyes, looking at the pastor, I think there are going to be some young kids that are in college that are maybe dating pastors and vice versa. But talk about how, Keith, for you saw Lola. You want to get to know Lola. You want to get to know her first. We have this stigma in the church, as Shawn mentioned, that almost the church has to know what pastors are getting engaged in. But Keith, for you, somebody who you said she was already well established, speak to really, for me, the importance of making sure that I want to get to really know Lola first. A lot of times we see people who want to be pastor all the time, and that's just not most of us. Like, most of us don't want to be. I'm Austin first, right? I'm Austin. I'm married to Jaleesa. It's not pastor and first lady all the time. For the most part, it's always Austin and Jaleesa. So for you, I think people kind of see us as pastors or pastors' families on stage. They see the lights, they see us on Zoom, but at the end of the day, it's just, that's your wife and you're her husband. Talk to me about and encourage those who are in that moment, in that space, and why that was really so important for you.
Well, in order for me it was important for me to get to know the woman Lola, so that as we progressed in relationship, I needed to learn and to know how to relate to her as just that. It's been a work in progress, a blessed work in progress, not without challenges. And I don't say that pessimistically as well, but there are inevitabilities and things that just come customary with relationship, as far as, how can I say it? Learning and knowing how to give her space within the home to be, like I said at the very top, to be a woman. That is first and foremost and priority, to allow her to be the woman, because as you all know, as pastors, you're always pastor in the eyes of many people, and there's direct and indirect pressure with that. And so if anywhere she should be, can be, will be who she is, that's got to be at home. The haven, So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I know y'all had some stupid questions, and because this is our podcast, stupid is not a cuss word. We can say that. All right. So, and I know, they tell you in school, they've got a teacher in here. He says there's no such thing as a stupid question. All right. So I'm gonna ask Shawn. I'm not gonna ask the teacher. Right. Well, Shawn, let me hear a couple of stupid questions you've had as being married to a pastor. Some things that people ask you.
Somebody asked me one time, does she make you call her pastor?
Oh my,
so stupid.
At home? And I was like, are you serious? Come on. And now, what's funny is, if they had asked that in a joking manner, I could have laughed it off. But they were very serious.
Wow.
And to this day, we've got an inside joke. I call her pastor sometimes. I'm like, hey, pastor, and some people ask questions like, is she the same person at home as she is at church? And I'm thinking, are you the same person at work, as you are at home?
True.
Just because, it's,
That's true.
So, I mean, there's a lot of dumb questions, a lot of misconceptions that people ask. And, which is just silly.
Yeah, I mean, this may not be silly, Keith, but I want to piggyback off of something Shawn said.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Being what have we been called? First gentlemen, first men, lead husbands, whatever, we heard. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is because our wives, our pastors, our leaders, our administrators are out front. There is, for some, not going to say or stereotype all, but there have been some misconceptions that they must be that at home too. We must be less than husbands, so to speak. Yeah, exactly. But some people will be surprised to know that it's in a lot of respects it's the opposite at home. I mean because home is home. There's an expectation, there's a responsibility that comes with being a husband, that just because the missus is a pastor and a leader out front, doesn't mean that the roles are reversed as perceived out, when we're out.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing for us. Yeah, because I'm all out front when we're out there and I'm running the show at the church. And I come home and no, I don't run the show at the house.
Rondora runs it, huh? She runs it.
She got the pants on. I just think it's a misconception altogether, though. I feel like people just, think that the same voice you have on stage is the same type that you kind of have, when you at home chilling. Like I do this. It's so funny. And I say this term, my friends say, tease me all the time. Sometimes we over spiritualize the fact that this is our job as well. Like this is my livelihood. Like we got meetings just like you. We have to interact with other people just like you. We just happen to on once or twice during the week, we get up in front of people, deliver a word, do some stuff like that. But for the most part, we're regular people. But I think that stereotype is funny because they just kind of assume you wake up in a suit. You're eating a suit, you're in a suit all day. And there are some pastors that are like that. There's some guys that, for me, it's joggers as soon as I get home and some Nike slippers. So that's I hate that stereotype, man.
I even have to get on my wife all the time because her voice isn't even the same.
Right.
I mean, I get on her all the time about this. I say, and it's kind of funny. I always say, the first couple of months while we were dating, I had no idea what she was saying. Her voice is so soft. I had no clue what she was saying. There were times I would just say, and I'm thinking, what is she talking about?
Right.
But that's because her voice is so soft. And, we can be here at home. And the other day she said, Shawn, I was screaming your name to the top of my lungs and you didn't hear me. And I'm thinking, that means you were like, Shawn. Yeah. But when she's at church, I've seen her preach a sermon without a mic. So, I mean, she has that pastor voice, but it doesn't carry over to to the house. When she comes to the house, she hangs it up with a robe. And, she's like, hey. So
I think I just think to piggyback off of that and to coincide, I just think that on the relationship tip, man, and Shawn might agree as well, that at home, I mean, it's a nice balance. It's a nice balance because, we are who we are. I mean, I'm not in teacher mode when y'all call me at the end of the day, but I take off teacher, she takes off pastor, in the like with whatever our professions are,
Right.
Yeah. I used to try to Bible study with my wife when it was time for worship. That didn't go good. I used to be trying to dig in that word. We trying to have a devotional. I used to be like, see right here. I was getting like 5 different kinds of Bibles, bringing them to the room. Nah, she was like, she couldn't abide that. Yeah.
No.
Yo, so Keith, I got to ask you this. Well, actually, really, the both of you. It's so typical when we see pastors get introduced. We got the male pastor. We have his lovely wife next to him. How does the church react to you guys when you guys come? Is the love the same? Are the gifts that they give the wives? When they do certain stuff, do you guys get the gifts for pastor appreciation too? Do they put the check in your hand instead of your wife's hand and say, make sure? Because every time I do pastor appreciation, they're like, we're gonna give it to your wife first because she's so lovely, and you can get it if she decides to give it to you. But for you guys, what's the experience like? What's the church love like for you guys?
And right off the bat, before y'all answer that, right off the top, is your name the first man?
Let me tell you, I can honestly say there is no official thing. It's not, like I said, I've been asked and called first man, first gentleman. Some people, because of, I guess, the quote unquote stereotype, a couple of people have actually slipped up and called me pastor, but then they quickly, correct themselves, or I'll gesture, and give props. But the church love is there. Our experience was an evolving one in that she preceded me up here to Woodbridge by 6 months. And so because I stayed in Nashville to finish out the school year and, get things ready for moving and all that sort of thing. So I was visiting, at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. And so you could feel and you could see the church warming up to her more, me more, as they saw me more. You know what I mean? Because, for a pastor to be anywhere 6 months without their spouse, some might be looking and holding out, like, okay, what's really going on? But when I got here and settled in, I made a concerted effort to get involved with the church any way I could. It's just who I am, but also to show support and this thing really is a team effort. I'm not on the sidelines in the second pew just listening to my wife every week. I mean, I got something to contribute to.
You're putting in work.
So, yeah.
Right. So for me, I've heard first gentleman, first guy, first dude.
First guy.
I mean,
I like that.
First guy.
I like that.
All kinds of stuff. And like you said, I get pastor all the time. And there are some people who even know that I'm not the pastor, but they still call me pastor. And I always say, hey, I'm pastor adjacent. I'm like,
I like that.
This is the deal over here. But, it is what it is.
Is that disrespect though, or you just think it's a slip of the tongue?
It's gender. It's just gender norm.
Okay.
Gender
That's
norm.
good.
If we were to walk in the room, and just think about it, you would probably do the same thing. If me and my wife walked into a room and you had no idea who we were, and we said this is the pastor and spouse, who would you normally think the pastor is? Mm-hmm. You'd probably think it was me, and she's the spouse. But it's not the case.
Right.
So
right. And but anybody that know you, because first time I saw you at Pelk, I didn't even ask you, was you pastoring, dude? I saw you at Pelk and I was like, what are you doing here? And I know you could have said the same thing to me, but I was like,
yeah. Most definitely. But I've got to say, man, this has been I mean, dude, if you would have asked me, years ago, do you ever see yourself marrying a pastor? No, not at all. Not at all. And partially because I didn't know any female pastors back then.
Right.
but I mean, it's just, I'm in a different world now than I could have ever imagined I would be in. Right now I'm on a Zoom with two pastors and the spouse of another pastor. 5 years ago, 6 years, or not, 6 or 7 years ago, that wasn't possible.
Right.
I mean, it would have been a totally different Zoom.
Totally
different topic.
Yeah.
And, not that, we'll just leave it at that.
I got you. Yeah, no, we got you. Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
And I've got to say, man, I'm enjoying the ride. I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm with you. I'm with you. Wouldn't have thought 5, 6, however long ago in my life that I would be here. And I still giving credit and acknowledging the woman that she is. I say first that I'm married to the former Lola Moore, the woman who just happens to be a dynamic and multi-talented and gifted and blessed woman in several areas. Now I've done just what it's done for my life, personally, spiritually, what it's done for her life and her life, man. It truly is a God thing. If we were in two different professions, two other professions,
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right. Yo, hey, G, I want to ask the guys this. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead, Shawn.
I was gonna say real quick. You asked me about the gifts and do they give me the love?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So no one has slipped up and brought me flowers or anything like that. And when we got married, the spouses department in our conference, they were like, okay, generally we give the new wives all these flowers and all this stuff. They actually, and these ladies are so cool. They came together and they had to determine what they were going to give me. They gave me a box and it had stuff like a towel that said Mr. It had like a cup that said, Mr. Payne. And just all kinds of stuff. So,
because you guys are in the spousal meetings too. That's right.
Folks have been quick to adjust. They've been quick to adjust.
And they were actually called the Shepherdess when I came in. They were called the Shepherdess. And they changed it to ministerial spouses.
Wow.
And still at times they use the word shepherdess. And then they were, remember, Shawn. Yeah, ministerial spouses. But I was always the comedian. And it's like, dude, have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't take offense to it. Have fun with it. So, yeah.
Yo, that's dope. That's dope. I wanted to ask you guys, you got something before I jump in? Because I wanted to ask these guys, myself and G, our wives are two different ladies when they sit and hear us preach. Rondora is a note taker. She's a nodder. When I'm preaching in front of his wife, I know I'm doing something good if she's writing and nodding. My wife is more of a stand and shout and she'll shout my name and she'll say, I know where you're going before you get there, and give away my punchline before I get there. When your wives are dynamic preachers. What's the energy like for you guys when your wives are just on the pulpit, just killing it? Is it a mind-blowing experience for you guys just being in those spaces? And I know we've missed it since COVID, but the moments where your wives are just on some of the biggest stages and just, destroying the house. What's that like for you guys?
Go ahead, Shawn.
Well, for me, I love energy. So, I've got this big smile and I'm just like, hey, that's my woman. I'm that guy, man. I'm cheesing and smiling and, go ahead, pastor. Come on, bring it. I'm that guy.
Yeah. Oh, for me, it's like I get it fresh and on many occasions like everybody else. So my responses, my reactions, my support is that of anybody in the congregation. One of my involvements with the church was with the praise team. So, I'm sitting off to the side, or when I'm not involved, or when I'm not on, like I'm on the second or third row. And, to see her prep here at home, is something. And when I say prep, she doesn't rehearse anything, in my presence per se.
That study.
Yeah, there are occasions, very remote occasions, very, very, very remote occasions where she has kind of shared a text and started teasing it out, in my hearing, but then we'll go off. And it's almost like going back to my basketball reference, to keep it balanced, whether it be Jordan, LeBron, it's like or let me say a shooter, Steph Curry, watching them on the court by themselves, they warming up, but then, come game time, they just do something or that just wows you. And so that's kind of like what it is for me. Like Shawn said, with the cheese, with the support, with the stand, with the wave, with the just the, the support and the admiration, that's coming from her, praise God. But
yeah, man, that's dope.
I get it fresh.
And as a pastor, you got to know you got a friend in the room. You got to know. Yeah. And, so I'm that guy. If nothing else, hey, you got me.
Yeah, and, you got one in the amen corner. It's going to be me.
And it may be just me and you working it out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm the guy.
Yeah, you need that guarantee one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've preached some duds. Since we talking about preaching, I've preached some, right? So now I know that now we've been married 21 years now. So I found out, a way to subtly say something, and my wife is the best cook I know. So if like we had like 3 vegetables one time on the plate, and I just made my plate and I just like scarfed them down. I noticed that they didn't have that much flavor, but I just ate them. And like afterwards, she was like, I ain't seasoned them vegetables. And I was like, oh, yeah, I thought something was funny, but I just thought, hey, maybe you would go all natural. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like too much. Like as much as she complained about me, like I pretty much let my wife do what she do, right? I don't have too many complaints. I don't complain about the food. I just eat the stuff because it's usually good, right? So what do you do if she preaches a sermon and there's something wrong with it? Like it was a dud. I mean, it's like, you could have did better with that one. Do you say something?
Be careful, brethren, right here. Just be careful right here. Just
nothing.
No, my wife's never done that.
That's right. Hey,
my wife's never done that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Real talk. Going back to what I said earlier, I mean, she was a pastor before I came on the scene, and with years of experience, and what I've witnessed now. I mean, she knows. Just like as a teacher, I know. Even though I have lesson plans, this and the other, I know when the lesson didn't come off as I anticipated or expected, and I kind of critique myself, albeit mentally sometimes, and so that is she knows. I don't have to say anything. I mean, she's in tune. She
right. So only thing you have to say is, "Baby, you'll get them next time."
Not even that. Just not even that.
You say
you're trying to draw it out, bro.
He's trying to get him in trouble.
What's that?
Hey, Keith, I got you, Keith. Don't worry about it, brother.
I'll just leave it at. Look, I'll just leave it at. She knows.
She knows. Hey, yo, and Shawn, it's funny because as men, as male pastors, you can kind of just tell, man, the wives get in the car and they don't say nothing. They just put the music on. You're like, oh shoot, like this joint was not the best. But I do think I appreciate the fact that my spouse, and I hear that in the both of you guys, is that when my wife makes critique of my preaching, it don't matter if everybody else celebrated it. You know what I'm saying? If everybody else gave the high five at the door, if there was a part that I could have been clear on, or if there was some verbiage I could have been better on, I've had to learn not to take critique, Shawn, as ego, but she wants me to be the best possible. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that I love it what you guys talked about. Both of you guys talked about the prep and the support, man. So I think that that's dope that you guys recognize that too, because you all want your spouses to be better.
And my wife, I mean, she's a perfectionist. She's a student of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, she is constantly trying to find ways to do it better. And not so much to, preach and, get the amens, but to, to deliver the word. And, so that's her thing. She's a student of the game. So she's always going to ask me, so what do you think? And, so a lot of times I jump in before she asks. And, great word, Pastor, great word. And we'll talk about it. But I honestly can say I don't ever recall hearing a sermon that just bombed. I just don't recall.
Right. That's real.
Because her preparation is so involved that, those sermons that just bomb, a lot of those are a lack of preparation. And I mean, she studies. I mean, she lives this thing. I always say some pastors, they preach it well, but she lives this thing. So when she's practicing and working her sermons out, I mean, she's just living her life. That's how she does. So, I got to give her props on that.
Yeah. Well, I want to jump in on that and agree and add to it. This is probably some of y'all's experience as well, Austin and G, that sometimes we can be our worst critic, and
absolutely.
and Shawn, you may witness this as well, where Trisha or Lola has thought something of their own message, and I'm looking like, what? I mean, whether it be what reached me, touched me, or not to make it about this, but how the congregation evidently received it. You know what I mean? But it goes back to that, like you said, of the person, just the perfectionist and always wanting to get better, do better.
Yeah.
You're asking me to critique something that I can't do.
Right.
You do this much better than me automatically. So, automatically, I'm in awe. I'm in awe each time I hear it.
Now, Shawn, to your point though, me and Kagia, members always asking can your wife preach for Women's Day? Can they do such and such day? Do you all get asked to break the bread for occasionally, man? What do you guys step into the pulpit, man, every now and then?
I have once. My wife, she set it up, and I did. I stepped in, and I hope that there's no footage of that anywhere floating around. But I did step in once, and I did what I thought I could do, and hey, I did all right.
You said you hope. Oh, go ahead, Keith. No.
I was just saying, for me, I haven't. I was being urged, prepped, and warmed, and dare I say, if and when the time comes, I'm ready. But there have been so many other things that I've done up front, whether it be praise team or leading out in Vacation Bible School, just various capacities where,
Sure.
Yeah, but you two guys, I mean, you're a public speaker, Shawn, and you a teacher. I mean, so you all are right in the flow. I remember the first time I had to prepare a sermon, and I was already doing motivational speaking. The gravity of preparing a sermon was just so many rungs above, but it was the same skill set. It just was so much more important. And so what you all have the innate skills as teachers and as public speakers already to do it. It's just it's like, I guess go back to your basketball, Keith. It's like playing in preseason. When you get up to preach, though, it's like, hey, this is the finals, baby. Somebody's making a decision. Is this your final answer? Somebody's making a life decision. So that's kind of the difference, man. It's just a lot more gravity, but you already do the thing. Yeah. And we appreciate having y'all, man.
Yeah, man.
Any final words?
Man, I would say, you were talking about, there may be some people watching that are, thinking about, hey, step into the pastor.
Yeah, man. Talk to him.
Dude, I would just say, man, be yourself. Date the woman. You don't date the pastor. You don't date the church. Date the woman. Because my wife, she is a pastor. but she still likes flowers. She still likes candy. She still likes holding hands and, the cuddles at the end of the day. That's who she is. She is all woman, all the time. She's a woman
first, man. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, so, I mean, I definitely have to co-sign everything Shawn just said in short. Because like I said, no matter the profession, just keep it right, keep it right as far as a relationship goes, because regardless of the profession, you want your relationship to be blessed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we just happen to be married to some very dynamic women who preach a word for the Lord.
Most definitely.
We want to shout out these two first guys. I think that's gonna be what I stick with, man. I love that, bro. The first guy. I wish and hope that people who see this, man, won't be afraid to step to the pastor. And what's the term that you used, Keith, before we go? When you looked at it wasn't googly eyes. What was it again? You said.
What did I say? You have to run the tape back. Eyes of
admiration.
Admiration, yes.
Respectful admiration.
Yes, there it is. Yeah. Respectful admiration. There you go.
There is a little something that comes with the fact that they're women of God. So.
Right, you don't want no she-bears coming after you.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I'm not asking y'all what y'all pet names y'all use at home, but has it ever slipped out at church? Have you ever called her by a name? Like my wife, I mean, I call my wife babe at church, but I guess that would be different.
I do that too.
The other way. Yeah, but you say babe at church and stuff like that?
Most definitely.
Okay, good. Okay, cool.
In the middle of service, I mean, if it's time to go and, we rolling out, it's like, oh, all right, babe, it's time to go, type of thing.
Yeah.
But, and then no, preach, babe. Preach, baby. No.
I ain't gonna lie. My wife be like, babe, I see where you're going. I see where you at, honey. I see where you at, handsome black man. I see you. Hey. She be quick with it, man. But guys, we appreciate you guys coming on, man, to be a part of the podcast today, man. Academy Podcast, a curriculum for growth. A lot of people who just listened and watched, they grew a little bit. They heard some stuff today. So we just appreciate you guys. People who are watching online, watching on our YouTube, Facebook. Check us out in the Academy Podcast. Season 2 is starting off with a bang, man. So we're glad you guys jumped on, man.
Oh,
hey, real quick on the way out. Real quick on the way out.
Go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead.
Triumph Through Tragedy.
Yes, sir.
It can be found at TrishaWinPayne.com. TrishaWinPayne.com.
And let me say this on y'all way out too, because both of you all, have your own thing that you're doing. So, as we ask all of our guests, like, where can we find you? Like what are you doing, and where can we find you out there on the interwebs?
Well, let me give honor first, to the missus as Shawn has done. You can find things that Lola has written, and even her Bloom movement at LolaJohnston.com. She's doing a mighty work with women, just dare I say, because of the internet worldwide. And you can also check out some of the things that she's written by way of Pursued and the Gospels Challenge. But as for me, I mean, Facebook, Keith Johnston. I do have an educational initiative called KeithJohnston.org, which on Instagram is KJ Educates. So I'm branching off into doing some independent things educationally, but KJville, Instagram, Keith Johnston, Facebook.
Yes, sir. What about you, Sean?
All right.
Let's see. I'm working on some coaching, and I'll have some more information on that, but you can find me on Facebook at Shawn Payne. I'm on there. Actually, I dropped all the Instagram and all of that, but it will come back soon.
Gotcha.
Let's see. You can reach me at PayneShawn12@gmail. I work for the University of Michigan, and I'm doing some things with them also, some coaching things. So, all of that will come out pretty soon. But I just received a message. The book, The Fight for My Life, And then Triumph Through Tragedy is kind of like the underlying title of it.
Got you.
Fight for My Life, Triumph Through Tragedy.
Yes,
TrishaWinPayne.com. But yeah, you can find me at all those places, and hey, and supporting my wife.
That's
supporting
it, bro.
the ministry.
Absolutely.
Hey, look,
Absolutely.
well, I appreciate both of y'all coming on here, man. Hey, so I got my prayer line brother and my classmate and phase 1 participant on here with me today. Glad that y'all came, spend some time with us to teach us the ropes for anybody who has been respectfully admiring their single pastor.
Right.
But we appreciate y'all coming, man. And look, we want y'all to come again and share this with a friend and tell your friends to share it with their family.
Absolutely. Yeah.
AP, peace, guys.
You've been listening to the Academy Podcast with Austin and G. Hit the subscribe button and come again. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and of course, Facebook. Oh yeah, and if you know someone who could use the information you just gained, take a minute to share. Much love from the AP. Peace.